I've spent a large portion of my life standing on a driving range trying to figure out this golf swing, and specifically trying to figure out how to swing the club just like Rory McIlroy. And the reason for that is not just because the swing is great. I mean, obviously his swing is fantastic. But there's a bit of a personal reason for that as well. I grew up in the same golf club. I was very much influenced by him as a young child, starting out playing golf before he, made it onto the professional circuit. I got to watch him hitting shots on our 17th tee because we didn't have a driving range. I would pick up the balls and bring them back and watch this ball striking, which was just incredible. So for me at that young age, it was like, I got to be able to do that. I got to be able to swing just like that and be able to do that. And that's what I've spent all of my time doing on the driving range. I'm not necessarily trying to become the best player, but I've just been trying to become the best swinger of a golf club that I can be, and using Rory's swing as a model to replicate off. And today I kind of want to go through everything I've learned and just give you from the start to the finish how I do it. But I'll show you first the swing itself that we've got to. Get a little warm up. Probably should have warmed up a little more. And it's just, when I'm swinging like this and swinging well, I just hit every shot straight like a laser like that. It's the most incredible feeling. But it's not constant, it's not all the time. It's very much, okay, well, maybe 60% of the time it feels like that, but the other 40, it's a grind. So where we start off with this is very much in the fundamentals, and I was fortunate enough that, when I would sit on the wall back at Hollywood and watch him hit balls with Michael Bannon, his coach, and some of his friends. They're all a bit older than me, 6 years older than me, and I'd be sitting there and he'd hit balls and we'd run out, myself, a couple of other young lads, Jack and John. We'd run out and we'd pick up the balls because people might be coming down the 16th hole, so we got to clear the fairway. And we come back, and there was one time he gave us box of Pro Vs. I still have that sleeve of Pro Vs. It's not box, a sleeve. Everyone got a sleeve each. So yeah, but then what happened was, sometimes we'd be lucky enough to get a little tip here and there from Rory and Michael, and the first thing that they showed me was the grip, right? Having it in the fingers. That was the key. And I almost felt like this hand was very much in quite a strong position, and this hand in more of a weaker position, but both hands kind of opposing each other, which really gave great control of this club face. It was going to keep it very stable, very neutral, very square throughout the swing. And so, that is the first part of this swing, and it's the thing that I focus most on. And you'll see Scotty Scheffler, he works on his swing, his grip hard. You look at a lot of the great ball strikers, they have great grip, right? Even look at Hogan and look at Rory. So what this is basically left hand's in the fingers. Okay, it's in quite a strong position, as you can see here. Right, the V shape pointing to the right shoulder, pretty standard. We hear that a lot, and it's not in the palm, right? Pretty standard. But it's with this hand that's important. A lot of information out there will say this hand's going to be strong as well, so that you can, a lot of slicers out there hitting the ball right. This will help you close the face, but in reality, it doesn't, because when it's here, it really wants to shut the face down. So players learn to manipulate and keep it open, and they actually end up hitting it more right by doing things like this. So you want to have this hand more on top. It's also in the fingers, and it's on top. Right, and the V shape here in this hand's almost pointing to like the left side of my face or my left shoulder. Right, sometimes I get a bit too weak, but it's still okay because I got opposite forces. I can keep control of this club face pretty well. So that's the first part of it, is the grip. Then you move into the setup, right? And from this position that you can see from this camera angle, what you'll notice is with the setup is that the hips are quite level. This is something I learned through Rickard Strongard. Hips are quite level, and the spine is slightly tilted back behind the ball for a power shot. I would find sometimes my right hip would get a bit higher and I would tilt this way a bit and wonder why I struggle to turn. As soon as I get here in this position, then it's much easier to get this working back as opposed to sliding, and then I can really then work on my coil up in the backswing, which we'll talk about in a minute. So it's really making sure we got that ball position as well, kind of on left side of the face, so we can attack it. If it's too far back, we're going to want to come back. Got the ball position left side of the face there, as you can see. And then we're in this nice setup from the face on, feet by shoulder width apart. But I'm going to move the camera over here so you can see exactly what we're talking about in terms of posture. Okay, so with getting into the posture, what we can see here is that, the body is, I'm tilted at the hip, right? I'm not squatted, kind of seated with the lower body so that the body gets upright here. I'm tilted at the hip, and the legs are like just kind of just ready to rock and roll. Like they're not locked out straight, and they're not super bent like I'm sitting. They're just kind of almost ready to start sprinting, or you're just active. You're ready. They're ready to rock and roll. They're braced, right? They're not locked. They're not sitting. They're just unlocked. Then also you can see the weights on the balls of the feet. Okay, and this is one thing. It's like the distance from the ball. It's gonna be different for a lot of people. So the best drill I find to get into that position and to find out is to go like this. So your arms are straight like this. Club's basically horizontal, like it's coming out of your belt buckle. So you've got a little bit of a hinge at the wrists, and from there you just bend from the hip, and that'll give you your distance. Then you take your 2 steps, get the ball position and get the width of the stance. So now we're in this setup posture where, balance here, legs are just slightly unlocked, hip angle's good, I'm over it, not 45 degrees, but I'm almost there. I'm over it, and chest kind of pointing almost down in front of me, and not upright like this. So now I'm in a position where I'm going to be able to really rotate and stay in posture, and then if I really want to create a powerful swing, I can start to really coil up and extend like this. And that's basically how to get into this setup to be able to do this swing. You need all of those elements before you can even start working on the swing. So what I want to show you now is basically from there you're able to work on getting into this position, nice takeaway position, and then getting to this kind of halfway position. Then you're able to coil up, and then with that coil and that sort of energy that's stored, you're able to unwind, and it almost wants to happen naturally with the lower body. You don't have to think about it too much. 1, 2, 3, and then whoosh, it unwinds, and you get the purest strike you could imagine. Really pure, really straight, awesome. And I don't think too much about the downswing, and I wouldn't recommend you do that either. What I would recommend you do is just get the setup right, and then from there build out that everything's in balance, that you're able to rotate, that you're able to do these things in the backswing. Create this backswing, like this wind up position, then you can just boom, unload and unleash it. So that's kind of how I built the swing, basically from the setup, and the influence that I had was fantastic. Very lucky to have that. So guys, if you're just trying to build your swing, you want to swing like that, you want to learn to stand on a range and really biff up golf ball nicely, and also maybe shoot better scores, you got to really figure out, right, okay, this is what it takes to build the swing. I need the foundations, I need the basics. From there, then I'm in a position where I can work on certain drills and work on certain positions of the golf swing to make it look like that and feel like that and produce results like I've just shown you. So if you need any help with that at all, you can reach out to me on Instagram. It's at Alexander_golf. Reach out there, send me your swing, send me whatever questions you have, or I'll leave a link below in the description where you can book a one-to-one call with me. I offer everyone that follows and subscribes one free one-to-one call where we can maybe have a look at your swing and see if it's possible for you to learn this, and if so, then I can show you how to do that. So yeah, if you want to have a chat, leave the link below, or if you just want to have a DM conversation or want me to have a look at your swing, then send it on Instagram and I will chat to you very soon. Make sure to subscribe, and also leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see next, what's going to help you out. But yeah, that's where I figured out this swing from. So hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.